safety with the prices fluctuating before we bid it. I know some other places in town that have bid some bigger projects that have come in a lot higher than what they had thought.
Right, that's one of my concerns. Then, we own the ground now. I know we set it aside and then there was kicking whether it
We
would,
own
because we had a time frame that we violated on that, but that's been extended.
We haven't violated the time frame yet,
I
but
thought it
we're
was
coming
3.
up against it.
Okay, all right, that's fine, but we own that from already, so the
Yeah,
ground.
we own the ground.
Okay, that's cool.
And just, and the latest estimate has a very generous contingency amount in it,
Okay,
too, just because, and that could lessen as they get further and further into design, because, I mean, design isn't far enough, we're not far enough into
Right.
design yet to have real.
are we still gonna apply the sale of the current building? We're not intending on keeping that building, correct?
That's up to you guys. We won't use it as a fire station.
Number 2.
Number two, but, so that could be applied also, the sale price or whatever, but I get all that, that's fine. All right, thank you, guys. I want this, I'm very much for this being on the ballot along with that tax one, so good deal.
Then I would seek a motion.
Motion adopting resolution 2539, calling an election on proposal to enter into a general obligation loan agreement and borrow money thereunder in a principal amount not to exceed $16 million.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Then could I have a roll call?
Wick,
Yes.
Goodchild.
Yep.
Pick.
Yes.
Bruns,
Yes.
Sturgeon.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you, everybody. Move on to discussion.
All right.
Clear your throat, Jason.
Yep, just weathered it down so I could talk.
And your shirt.
Uh-huh.
And your shirt.
Did I? No, I didn't. All right, Centennial asbestos, that abatement continues. That has a September 29th completion. Haven't heard of any issues. I haven't stopped up there, I guess, to look, but I haven't heard of any issues. The Industrial Road Sanitary Sewer Extension, that project started yesterday, and that was Salzma, and they have 13 working days to complete, so that should be a nice quick job for them. And you may have, I think, Dave, I heard the story. We had applied a few months ago for state funding for the airport on a taxiway reconstruction and relocate. We did get approved for that, and that was in the amount of $320,420, which is the max 73% that we can get funded. So that should be a project that will happen next year. And then the final thing I want to talk about is we've had a little bit of discussion. We've talked about it quite a bit in council meetings in the past. The current solid waste hauling agreement with vans, current 5-year one, expires at the end of this year. The previous one was a 5-year. Vans has been our hauler for 30 years. We have never gone out with RFPs. It's always been a negotiation, and we've agreed to, I'm assuming 5 years. I didn't go back all the way, but so the question is, now that we're in the middle of August, your input on how we proceed. My recommendation would be that we stay with vans, and public or solid waste committee sit down with vans and try to negotiate a new contract. Now, if that doesn't work, I mean, we can always revert to an RFP and go out for proposals, or we can send the RFPs out, and vans is welcome to submit. So maybe a little bit of direction. Maybe the direction is a meeting with the solid waste committee to determine options, or you guys just give me what you feel. You know, we went through the time period of some of the community. Some of the community wasn't completely satisfied with some of the things that had happened. I know Vans is working hard, have corrected, and is still working hard to, one, get a better reputation, I guess, to repair that damage that might have happened over the holidays. So anyway, I bring it forward because if we are gonna go out, we're getting
Who's on
close.
solid waste?
We're getting close to the end of the year. We're
Who's on
gonna need
solid?
somebody to step up right at the beginning of the year.
Right. Who's on solid waste?
Shoot, I could not tell you.
Okay, it doesn't really matter. I think that's probably the best, I think that's probably the best.
And come
route
back here with a recommendation on what to do.
on what they're saying, but I would encourage who's ever on it. Vans has, historically, over the last 20 years, been a very good service. Okay, they went through some changeover hiccups, but no matter what we decide, I'm going to strongly encourage a much shorter contract in the interim. You know, maybe a 1 year, so that we see the improvements that are being promised. But my question is, who owns the sorting facility? Does Vans own the sorting facility out there?
Yes. they own it
Because
all.
I know we gave a grant for it. I remember that. The city gave 500 grand to help pay for that thing. But does that stay, is that part of the,
Well, I think that was at the same time, I'd have to look back at that, Clark. Yes, the city did
yep, I know.
do that. My only question is, was there a sunset to that? I mean.
Yeah, I don't know. And that's a question that I have, since they own that, and anybody new would need, I don't know. a
It is
plan.
actually, solid waste is actually Brad and you, Clark.
Okay, I kind of thought
sense.
it was us. I honestly did, but I wasn't 100% sure. Obviously, we don't need a lot, but, okay, I think it should go to solid waste and then come back with a recommendation. That's where I would be on it, okay?
Okay.
That's my recommendation, but I'm not directing you.
I don't have any problems with vans, but I'm always for getting proposals so the taxpayers get the best use of their funds.
Yeah, I mean, the question is, if we put it out for RFP at this point, what we're out, but what would happen is, obviously, if Vans isn't the lowest bidder, and we have to take the lowest bidder, then that's making that decision at this point. So,
Well-
if solid waste wants to come with a recommendation, that's fine. I'm just not ready to say 100%, let's just renegotiate and stay with Vans.
Okay,
Well,
and that's
okay.
totally fine.
So RFPs, maybe I didn't hear you right. I mean,
Yeah.
so if we go out for RFPs, we don't have to take the lowest.
No.
It's not going out for bid.
Oh, I got you, okay. All right.
It's not going out for bid.
As long as we still don't lose our window here this year, I don't have a problem waiting to see what the committee says. That makes sense.
Absolutely.
That's why you're, yeah.
Absolutely.
And I do believe Vans has improved from our concerns, our citizens' concerns, and it has addressed those concerns as well, so.
A lot of.
I agree with that. I also agree with the, let's make sure it's not a short-term improvement.
Yeah.
Mark's comment about,
Yep.
We don't have to give a 5-year contract. I agree, we do not have to.
See, the biggest task of that committee is going to be, what we have in Lamar's is very rare. Okay, most haulers don't operate the way that we have vans operate, which is every other week. That, I should say, that part is not, the once a week pickup is not rare. It's rare that it's garbage every other week,
It's up, yeah.
recycled every other week.
Right.
So there is, you guys have all heard it, is how come we don't go back to an every week garbage pick? Okay, so if we choose to do that, you know, that would need to be in the RFP. Because we're still gonna have to pick up recyclables. So that's gonna add an extra route to somebody, which may cost them more.
Will cost them more.
So we'll need to go, the committee will need to go through the current contract and maybe determine what needs to be changed, what do we want changed, because everybody's gonna have to give a proposal based on all the same criteria.
Yeah. I tend to agree with Brian, but I think it, you know, in terms of an RFP, but I think the committee should be the one to make the recommendation. It comes back here and then this council can decide how to proceed from there.
The city owns all the containers, correct?
Yeah.
We
Purchase them.
We purchase them. So they would stay no matter who you go with. Those containers are owned by the city.
Yes, I don't believe they say banned on.
They do not.
No,
City
well,
Just the yard waste ones?
with your yearly sticker. Yeah.
Except I talked a while back with a contractor who, you know, would like to give a bid if it was open for bids. And they talked about, you know, they would build a plant, they're obviously gonna start paying taxes on that plant, they would buy containers, and he had a whole bunch of things. But then he also said he doubts that he'd be able to come in lower than Vans, so there we are.
And who knows?
If it's not real low, you know.
Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's gonna have to, I think it should go to committee, make a recommendation, but I wouldn't just, I mean, it, you know, speaking, kind of getting the horse ahead of the cart a little bit by saying I wouldn't be opposed to an RFP process, but
That's where you want the
let's,
horses ahead of the cart.
all right, the cart ahead, you're right, I'm sorry. You're right, yeah.
In most
You're right.
cases, you'd be right.
Yeah, I should have been a wise one. Anyway, we'll get the, you know, you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay, so I'll.
It's been a long
is everybody,
conversation.
I'll
Yes.
schedule.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anything else, Jason?
No, that was it.
Is the committee also gonna address then what services we want?
Yeah, I think so.
From both the
Yeah, yeah,
existing and changes and, okay, so, all right, just so we kind of know the direction, right?
Yeah, because I'm assuming it may take a couple, because I think we'll need to go through what our wants are. I'll need to come up with an RFP, and maybe that committee would review it. That RFP would come to council to give your final blessings on what that RFP says before it gets sent out.
Joe, anything today?
We're moving forward still on the software conversion. Still takes up a lot of our time. We are moving forward with a couple next steps, I guess. Time clock. Into an electronic time clock. We're working on that now. And allowing for online payments with the system as well. It's getting closer to online. So.
Good. Okay, then I'll move on. Reminder of the 2025 Fall Cleanup Days, which will be on September 13th, and then the week of 15th through the 19th. And those are the days that you can take up to 1,000 pounds of waste to the landfill free of charge. So, Mark,
I'm good.
Brad,
Nothing.
Brian,
Nothing.
Clark.
Clark asked to be last because I just want to take a few minutes to try to explain a few things. But over the years, last few election cycles, I've been asked to run for mayor multiple times, including this time. I'm not a mayor. I have no interest in running for mayor. A mayor needs to be a promoter and a cheerleader for the community. He needs to always remain positive and open. Needs to be open to discussion, and we've had some good mayors. We've had Dick and Rob are doing a fantastic job. Ward 3 is open this year, and I know that Mark's running, and I endorse Mark. I appreciate Mark. He has a passion for Lamar's, and that's important. We don't line up on everything, but I think he's doing one fine job. Brian, he's up for election Ward 1. Been there, done that. I had Ward 1 for a while. I think Brian is doing a bang-up job. I think he is probably learned a lot of things from 4 and 5 years ago when he called me and asked me how it works versus how it really works. Okay. So, at large is open. I'm going to tell you right now, what I'm going to tell you is 100% true. I've served this community for 11 and a half years. But at the beginning of this year, I told my wife and a few close friends that I was done after this term. I believe in term limits personally, across the whole government. 12 years is long enough. 12 years, you need to move on. You need to be open to new ideas. You need to be open to new people bringing new ideas. I questioned that decision from early this year when I told those few people, very trusted people, that I was done. Because over the last 2 months, I've really been petitioned to run again, which I'm humbled by. I appreciate it, but it has not changed my mind. I am not going to run for re-election. I want to encourage a few things for people who are running for re-election or for a seat up here. I feel that everybody up here has a passion for Lamar's. I feel everybody up here is looking out for the best interests of Lamar's as they see it. Maybe not necessarily, we don't have to agree. There are a lot of 4-to-1, 2-to-3 votes, and that's healthy, regardless of what anybody wants to tell you. Okay? Because no matter what the vote is, you move on as a city, whether you opposed it or were for it. But you need to have a passion if you're going to run for this seat, for that seat, for the mayor. You need to be pro-Lamar's. You need to have a reason to be pro-Lamar's. I wouldn't allow anybody to talk you into something. I would not allow anyone to talk you into running. Because I'm going to tell you, if you're doing it right, there's going to be a target on your back. I myself have gone through slanderous accusation, even blackmail. Literally lettered blackmail to try to get me to vacate my seat. Now that has not happened in the last few years. But I'm just telling you, if you're doing it right, people aren't always going to like you. So if somebody's trying to talk you into running, you might want to question that, why they want the target on your back. Because you need to want to do it. So running also is not a popularity contest. When Brad ran, he had 3 other people run. They weren't losers. They just didn't win. It's not a popularity thing. You run and you lose, that's the way it is. Okay? But you have to have a passion for this city. I think this city has a ton of very, very, very positive things going on. But I think you also have to be open to asking questions that aren't popular. So with that, I am announcing that I have no intention of running for city council at-large seat, and that was decided almost a year ago. So that's where it's at. The last thing is, it's not bad having a school named after you, even though they're going to probably tear mine down in about 5 years. So it's a burden I had to carry, okay? So anyway, thanks for listening to me, but
Thank you, Clark.
just in fairness, I want people to know that that will be an open seat, so.
I'd just like to reply and thank you for your comments. And I've said to many people, including you, that you're the main reason I ran. I like the way you approach it. I like the questions you ask. You don't just rubber stamp things, and that's how I wanted to pattern the way I serve. So thank you for your comments as well.
I would also like to say that as well, and you know, we haven't always agreed on things.
Right.
And that's just fine. I've told you before how much I do appreciate the fact that you ask questions. And I've told many people around town that I appreciate that, because you think of things, your experience here, you have asked questions that I would never think of. And that is for the betterment of our community, and I really do appreciate that. Appreciate the 11 and a half years you've given. It's, you know, I'm not suggesting that this, but the compensation that we receive for the amount of time that we put into it and the effort is pretty minimal. And I know you spend a lot of time thinking about things, and I truly appreciate your service and what you bring to the council, and your insight and your passion. And again, I appreciate the questions that you ask, and I'm proud to have served for a year and a half with you. Thank you.
Anything else?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, second?
Second.
Have motion and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion, meeting adjourned.